We've already learned the big idea: buy a wonderful company at an attractive price. Chapter 13 is about how you actually start doing that without freaking out. The chapter's message is simple and practical. Take baby steps. You don't need to be brilliant or risk everything at once. Start small, learn, and build. Phil Town uses a real couple, Susan and Doug Connolly, to show how ordinary people can begin. They have $20,000 in an individual retirement account and can add $500 a month. They want to retire comfortably, and they worry that a typical mutual fund might leave them short. So they decide to try rule number 1 investing step by step. Step 1 is meaning. Pick a business you understand and would be proud to own. For the Connollys, that is restaurants. They love dining out, they know what works, and they can judge brands. That gives them confidence to study restaurant companies. Next is the moat. The Connellys look for what protects a restaurant business. For mature chains, that protection is usually brand, consistent customer experience, name recognition, a repeatable model. So they make a short list of recognizable restaurant companies and start running numbers. Step 3 is the numbers work, the big 5. Phil emphasizes starting with return on invested capital because it tells you whether the business really earns more than the cost of capital. If return on invested capital is under 10%, stop. That business is not a rule number 1 candidate. For the Cheesecake Factory, the Connollys find return on invested capital of more than 10%, so they keep going. Then they look at equity growth, earnings per share, sales, and cash flow. The Connellys check book value per share and find consistent growth, roughly 20% a year over several time windows. That gives them confidence the business can grow. If the big 5 look good, check management. Are owners running the company like owners? Is the CEO focused on the long term? The Connellys read the founder's letters and articles. They see the founder talks about protecting the brand and training quality people. That sounds owner-oriented and driven. So far, the company passes the 4 M's: meaning, moat, management, and the big 5 numbers. Now the practical part: is the price attractive? To decide that, you first figure the sticker price, the fair value today, and then demand a margin of safety. For that you need 4 inputs: current earnings per share, an estimated future earnings growth rate, an estimated future price-to-earnings ratio, and your minimum acceptable rate of return. Phil uses a minimum acceptable rate of return of 15%. Using the rule of 72, the Connellys estimate earnings per share in 10 years. Pick a reasonable future price-to-earnings ratio based on history, multiply to get the 10-year market price, and then divide by 4 to find the sticker price today, because 15% compounded for 10 years doubles twice, which is 4 times. The margin of safety is half the sticker price. In the Cheesecake Factory example, the Connellys use current earnings per share of 64 cents, a conservative growth rate of 20%, and a historical price-to-earnings ratio in the mid-30s. Their rough math says future earnings per share in 10 years will be about $5, future market price around $175, and margin of safety price about $22. The accurate online calculator gives slightly different but comparable numbers. The key point is this: the Connellys only buy if they can get $1 of value for about 50 cents. They also check insider trading and the 3 tools, the technical indicators that show whether the big institutional money is moving in or out. On the technical charts, the 3 indicators are aligned. The big guys were coming back in. That gives them the green light, so they act. With $20,000, they buy 1,000 shares at about $18.90 a share, a price below their margin of safety. Then they practice trading in and out with the 3 tools, adding $500 a month as they go. Over 2 years, by getting in and out at the right times and continuing their savings, their position grows from $20,000 to about $78,000. That is a compound rate far above what they originally expected. Phil admits rates that high are unlikely to persist forever, but the example shows how starting small, doing the work, and using rules and tools can accelerate results. A few practical takeaways from the chapter. Start with things that have meaning to you. It makes the research easier and less scary. Use the 4 M's as a checklist: meaning, moat, management, and margin of safety. Begin with the most important numbers. First, return on invested capital, then equity growth, then earnings and sales, then cash. If the first one fails, you save time. Use the rule of 72 to get quick, mental estimates of how growth compounds. Demand a margin of safety. Buy at roughly half your sticker price. Use the 3 tools, the momentum and trend indicators, to time your buys and sells so you aren't fighting the big institutional flows. Start small, add regular savings, and learn as you go. Paper trade if you need practice, then use small real trades until comfortable. The chapter's central reassurance is you don't have to leap into the deep end right away. Take baby steps. Learn the checklist, practice the math, pick 1 or 2 businesses you understand, and build gradually. If you do that, your money works for you in a way you can understand and control. And that, Phil says, changes everything.